genuinely fucking hate here. Hate it here. Hate it here so bad.
God shits in our dinner once again. Okay.
I love our cat so much.
Little bastard child.
She got stuck in the cord for the headphones that were plugged into the desktop, and we had to unplug the headphones because the cat was stuck.
Which fucked up our audio.
And that ruined our audio, and we couldn't fix it on the other stream.
So,
God.
So can anybody here just give us a fucking helping hand and tell us what the last thing you heard was so we can just start again? I'm fun and fine and normal.
The question we were handling was, how do the Valsigns feel about their relationship and how it's changing? And you were going over Leo's feelings on that.
I know that. I just don't remember where
The cat. Just go from the top. Get your train of thought.
My train of thought is...
It was very close to the top of it.
My train of thought is that our cat is a demon from hell.
I love her so dearly. She's so smart and so wonderful, and she gets stuck in the fucking cords.
She's a demon from hell sent to kill us.
She's sitting in the hallway all sad now.
You should be sad. Look at what you did.
I love her so much. Pigeon. I love you, little dumbass.
Anyway, yes. Yeah. A lot of what, as far as how Leo feels about the change in their relationship, a lot of what he feels right now is guilt because the way that he treated Fee their whole life was, frankly, really, really shitty. And it was the responsibility of a lot of misplaced blame and anger. And he's grappling with what that means going forward and how he's going to make it better. And also he's weirded out by the fact that he is now having tender moments with his sister, which is something that has never happened before. And like trying to figure out how he feels about that. Like, oh God, I like this person. I like this person. What? Hold no. and that's a weird experience for him. But yeah, right now, Leo, doesn't feel good about the changing relationship, but that's because it's going to force him to take accountability for treating Fee really horribly and figuring out what that's going to mean.
Yeah. Yikes. As far as Fee, I think a lot of how Fee is doing this season is just kind of grappling with shit that has been done in her name, if that makes sense. Like, it's a lot of grappling with, like, both on a systemic level, and also like on the personal level of shit that has happened to Leo, grappling with the fact that, oh, this was done for the sake of me. This was done because someone thought that it would make my life better. And
you need to go away. No, you need to be gone.
Bitch, please don't. Go away, please.
No.
Go away, please, ma'am. Ma'am.
Away.
Ma'am. Go away. Madam.
Our cat has made the decision to choose violence today.
I love her so much. Anyway. But that is a lot of what's going on with Fee this season, is just trying to figure out how to handle the guilt of shitty things happening for her sake. So her relationship with Leo is part of that, and the other plot stuff that we're gonna get to is part of that.
Which, like, I think that's a really interesting kind of contrapoint that we see, like, with both of the Valsigns through a lot of, like, different parts of their character arcs, is, like, Leo grappling with things that he has done, and then Fee grappling with things that have been done for or because of her. And it's like, it's an agency thing too. I don't really have the words for it to frame it, but
it's
I saw somebody say something once that was really interesting to me about how, you know, at the beginning of their character arcs, a lot of Leo's story is about his agency, and a lot of Fee's is about her kind of lack of it.
Yeah.
And now this is like them both learning to overcome the bad things about both of those. Like,
yeah, and that ties very much into the whole golden child scapegoat dynamic that they do have.
Yeah.
Like, because it is a very alienated thing. It is a very alienating thing to be put on a pedestal with the understanding that you could get knocked off of it at any point, and with the understanding that it is because of other people's suffering that you are able to be where you are.
Well, and also, you know, the threat of looking at this person that's not on the pedestal and going, oh, fuck, that could happen to me.
Yeah.
And like the moral and psychological implications of like, okay, I'm going to do what I need to do to stay up here because I don't want to end up like that poor bastard. Like,
yeah. And it's very much a lot of Fee's guilt is because things have been done in her name and because she has turned a blind eye to those things, you know? Like,
in the name of self-preservation, which again, it all just comes down to golden child scapegoat dynamics. Whereas, a lot of the things you see with like stories of people that are scapegoats that are victims of narcissistic abuse is like, oh yeah, that's the kid that acts out. That's the kid that's rebellious, you know, like, that's Leo.
It's not great. But yeah, that's a lot of what is informing their dynamic going into the rest of this season and trying to figure out both how to move on from the bad parts of that dynamic while also carving out something that is functional from it, if that makes sense.
And also trying to save the world.
And
they've got a lot going on.
Yeah, and that too. And also there's, you know, mass killings going on. So
the world is ending actively.
Yeah. So that's, but that's a separate issue.
Moreland is probably climbing the walls right now, and honestly good. Somebody said in the chat, we're gonna find out. We're gonna
find out what he's been doing in a couple weeks.
Like 3-4 more weeks, we're gonna find out exactly what Moreland's been up to.
Yup. Man.
No, Moreland is doing what Moreland does best, and capitalizing on horrible situations is what he's doing.
He's ass. People in the chat just reacting with fear. He's the big bad of the series for a reason.
You should fucking be afraid.
He's the big bad of the series for a reason. And if he can't be there in person actively fucking with the PCs, then he is off in the distance doing other villain shit. You know?
No days off. No days off.
No days off for a girl boss. Sorry.
Fuck.
Brainworms.
That's a Lasha. Stop.
I know. I have brainworms.
I cannot believe you just called Archduke Moreland Valentine.
I did not. I
girl
said
boss.
The words. I did not. I said the words. No days off for a girl boss.
It's in my head now.
Because you said no days off.
It's in my head now.
I can't. My brain does what it does. Okay, listen. Sometimes I say things.
And they're horrible. No, absolutely not.
Stop. No. No more than girl boss moments. Fuck. I hate to see girl boss winning.
I hate this. I hate this, whatever this is. And with that, we will open up the floor to question time. So long as none of those questions are about. So
long as none of those questions involve both the word "girl boss"
and Moreland Valentine,
the name Moreland Valentine. We all know Alasha's the girl boss anyway. I have brain worms, and I'm holding myself back from saying the thing that came to mind. You should all be very proud of me for not saying what is on my brain. Anyway, as Barry gets a drink and I lose it in front of the camera. I'm not dignifying that. Oh, okay. I have a non-girl boss related inquiry. Does Moreland genuinely care for Fee at all, or no?
Okay, hi.
Okay.
So I have done an obscene amount of background developing and writing and backstory construction on Moreland and all of his siblings.
Yeah.
So
and most of it's never going to go on the podcast, but that's just what storytelling is.
Nope. And you know what? I will just keep it to myself and maybe post it on the Patreon, and that's fine.
That's fine.
So the way, at least the way that I play Moreland, is meant to be an illustration of, well, he's a bag of shit.
Yeah.
A big old motherfucking duffel bag of shit, one might say.
Yeah. And it should be noted as we get into this that to an extent for both of us, Moreland is inspired by real people. So,
but Moreland's characterization, because I don't like writing one-note villains who are just shitty to be shitty, because that's, unless you do it right, it's boring. We do have a villain that is just shitty to be shitty in season 2, but she's fun.
Yeah.
And she's hot.
But she's fun and she's not the big bad.
Yeah.
She's a more minor.
But a lot of the points that you can kind of see us make with Moreland in season 1 is that he is perpetuating a cycle of abuse, which means that he was also a victim, and also that the motherfucker has prevalent PTSD from being a child soldier.
And also, and we get into this later in the series, but we established when we were doing that lore dump on the Volduran War, it should be noted, the main villain and the shitty way that he acts is a result of his PTSD from that war, which was an active imperialism by Voldur. It's that, I think, is something that as we go throughout the season, we're gonna explore some more, we know, and also kind of needs to be kept in mind of the fact that he wants revenge on Voldur for the imperialistic campaign that they carried out.
And the war crimes.
Is not what makes him a villain. It is the fact that he is willing to sacrifice the lives of people that he has a responsibility to.
In order to do it.
To get that revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's something that we'll go into more in a couple episodes. But.
Yeah. Moreland Valsine's an interesting guy.
Anyway, that does he care for him?
I think he tells himself that he does. I think I think he is one of those villains that is he is honestly convinced that he's doing the right thing.
Yeah. And
that he genuinely, in his own way, cares for his family.
Including Leo.
He thinks he cares. He thinks he cares about Leo. Yeah. He thinks he cares about Leo. He thought that getting Leo out of the way and putting Fee on the throne was the thing that would be the best for Leo and for the country.
Yeah.
In his head, that was how he rationalized it. Was obviously this isn't going to work for all of my horrible, horrible reasons. So I'm going to be magnanimous and merciful and give him a quiet life out in the country with his husband that I let him pick, that he gets to marry now, and he'll have a great life. And that little shit, how dare he throw this back in my face? It was very much like that kind of ethos at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so he's a really fucked up person with a really fucked up way of thinking. And he's also a massive bag of shit. And he's interesting. Being in his head is not fun, but a great thought exercise.
Yeah. And a lot of the way that we've written him, especially in how he relates to Fee and Leo, is he is extremely self-centered, and he is very much not really capable anymore of caring about a lot of people.
He used to be.
Yeah,
but and
he,
again,
and
like
he thinks he's very magnanimous and he thinks he's very well intentioned, but he is not. Fundamentally, he is not capable anymore of caring about most people, say his wife. But he sees his kids as extensions of himself enough that he is capable of caring about who he is trying to make them be.
I think the part of him that was capable of caring about people died with Valorant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the part of him that was capable of caring about people died when he made the call of, I am going to kill my brother, who I am very close with, in order to preserve what I believe is the best direction for my country.
And the way that he pitted Fee and Leo against each other was an extension of the way that he was capable of caring about them anymore. Like,
don't get close to your siblings. You might have to kill them for political gain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get close to your siblings. You might have to do the right thing and murder them in their beds.
Moreland Valsine's a really fucking interesting person.
Yeah. But yeah, like, he very honestly thinks that he loves Fee and Leo and thinks that he is doing the right thing for them. And the fact that the versions of them that he cares about are extensions of himself that he is trying to force them to become is immaterial in his mind. Like,
yeah, and I mean, like, this is something
to write. It's great to write villains.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is something I don't know if we're ever going to get to dissect. Like, even to a degree, like, he thought that he loved Adana, and that what happened to her was the best thing for her because she was getting too involved, and like, with his
motive, she was a sacrifice for the greater good.
Yeah, so very much like his way of rationalizing, being able to either literally kill, enable the death of, or sign off on the death of many, many, many people is just that he is like just constantly doing math in his head.
And he's because he is in the position of power that he is, and because he is no longer capable of caring about the people around him, or most people in abstract, he has very much personified Astraria as something that the good of can be acted in separate from its people.
Yeah.
and part of that just came with the role of Archduke, because as we've discussed, there is mass killing of their own citizens that is going on in Astraria. Like, it that is for the good of the country. Like, it's very much.
And we'll be unpacking that. We'll be unpacking
way later. But
yeah, we'll go
into more detail later. But
I will tell you guys, like, we are going to get deep in the fucking paint of Moreland's actual characterization in season 3, because like that's where all of his bullshit is gonna get dragged out into the light of day. But yeah, so to answer that question, does he actually care about Fee? Yeah, he thinks he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, that's the best answer we can give about that one.
Yeah.
He thinks he loves his kids a lot.
Man, that was a really interesting question.
Yeah. Love that.
I love getting to talk about our villains.
Yes.
Yeah. Because, like,
I love getting to talk about character arcs in general.
Yeah, and I love our villains a lot.
Yeah. It is fun to write villains.
Yeah.
It is fun to make people that do bad shit but are also in their own way compelling without being forgivable.
Yeah.
Is my opinion.
But yeah, if anybody else has any questions, we're going to go for about, I think, we lost
We'll go a little longer.
Yeah, we'll go a little longer because we lost on that time. So we'll go, we'll go until like 4:20.
Yeah.
Nice.
I hate you. I can't fucking stand you. Anyway. But yeah.
Genuinely so excited for you guys to meet the big bad of season 2.
the mini boss.
We calling her a mini boss is a disservice.
Yeah, that's a bit disrespectful.
She's a bad bitch.
She does a lot of stuff. That's in a few episodes though. That was one of the things that we ended up changing, was we meant to spend a little more time in Askaya than we ended up doing.
Because everything else got pushed so far back that we were like, oh man, we gotta get to the Zephyr Isles now. Like, yeah.
Well, and because like with losing the most dangerous game arc, we lost a lot of the time that we were going to spend in Oskaya, and with
chronologically, we end up spending a good bit of time in Oskaya, but a lot of that is covered by time skips.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Because episode 3 takes place over the space of like 4 months.
Yeah, like 3 months, 4 months, something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Need to re-listen to it before it goes up. Anyway,
Leo and Fee are going to be gone for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in Vogvolder.
Back in Vogvolder, we zoom in on Zed punching a wall. Oh, man.
Zed's crying and punching a wall. Kalessa's having an existential crisis. Fen is learning how to apply a hair mask. Like,
Shut up. Oh, man. But yeah, we would have liked to have spent more time in Oskaya, especially to get some of the world building done, but we didn't have the plot to cover it after we had to cut out a lot of the bonus episodes. Not bonus episodes,
but the filler episode. Yeah, the kind of like one-off episode ideas. Because we had a couple fun ideas for Oskaya. Like we had the most dangerous game arc that got cut.
If we can find our original outline, we can. But
well, here, let me flip back through.
Oh, the notebook.
The sacred texts.
Yeah, we keep all of our planning shit for the entire campaign in that notebook. And half of it was the scrawling madman.
Yeah. I forgot that we had when we were like just pitching, like we didn't have titles or anything yet, but 18 and 19 we had just called the Yzma and Cusco episode.
Yeah.
Because of them missing each other. It was like the scene in Emperor's New Groove of Yzma and Cusco going in and out through the revolving door.
I forgot about that. Oh my god. There you go. There's a window into our planning process, kids.
What if we did 2 episodes that's literally just that scene from Emperor's New Groove of Yzma and Cusco going around in the revolving door?
Oh, man. I cried, actually, while recording one of those episodes.
Yep.
I cried real tears at the desk. Yzma and Cusco episodes.
Oh, man. This original outline is so hard to read because there's just arrows everywhere.
Yeah.
This was before we put it in digital.
Yeah.
Oh,
are there any other episodes that had joke names like that? I'm trying to think. The most dangerous game episode.
That wasn't really a joke, but yeah, just like, the most dangerous game episode. We have Leo gets a bisexual bob is in here in my notes for episode 2.
I think I jokingly in my personal outline titled episode 14. Whoops.
of season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I just wrote everything like under that, like episode 14. And then I just wrote everything down under that. Oh man.
Let me go back to the season 1 outline and see if we had any fun.
There's an episode in season 2 that we have jokingly referred to as the Robin Hood episode. That doesn't have a real title yet.
But it's not even really joking because
yeah.
It is just a Robin Hood episode.
Yeah. Yeah, but it'll have a real name when we put it up. It should be noted that we come up with most of the episode names the day before we upload them to our podcatcher.
God, I'm looking at how fucking off the rails season 1 went.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to meet Ereve in like episode 5.
That would have been. We're getting too caught up in the outline.
Yeah, sorry. No, but yeah, I can't really find any more fun like episode names.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we do just kind of write shit down like when we're making our master schedules. Apparently something that I thought was very important for episode 2 was that Leo got a bisexual bob.
Yeah.
Because it's in the outline.
Yeah. well, because when we were doing the plotting out of the episodes, we would like jot down like a couple concepts, and then we go back later when we're about to record the actual episode, and we plan out like the scenes that need to be covered and what needs to actually happen,
and the mechanics. Like we plan out, like, oh, like here's the dice rolls that we're going to need to make. Here's what's going to happen if you pass. Here's what's going to happen if we fail. Things like that. And that comes down to DM discretion a lot of the time, because what we do is we set up when we do our outlines, because now that we're in season 2, and again, we're like deep in the paint of the like interlocking gears of the co-DM'd format. We predetermine who's DMing every scene.
Yeah.
And then it kind of
a lot of times it's by necessity, just because.
Yeah.
Because like Leo and Fee are not going to be together in every scene.
Yeah.
For a lot of obvious reasons.
They're not attached at the hip. Like, yeah.
So a lot of times it's by necessity. And then we kind of just put them in order. And then the next scene that they're together, we do a DM switch and da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Or just, like when that scene reaches its logical conclusion, we do a DM switch, something like that. Which that can mean some very quick switches, and it can mean some very long scenes, because there is a moment. Oh man, what episode is it where I'm DMing like 80% of the episode?
Oh God.
Was it the one we recorded yesterday? I mean, I was DMing for a lot of that though.
No, that wasn't that one. I think it might have been 5. No, not 5.
No,
6.
it was 6. Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, because Leo's role in 6 was all NPC introductions. That was all Leo was doing. Leo was literally our fucking narrative device to introduce the season 2 NPCs.
Yeah.
And then Fee was like,
there were a few of them.
And then Fee was just like actually doing plot stuff. So I ended up DMing like 80% of that episode.
How far are y'all into recording season 2 so far? Halfway.
We recorded episode 11 yesterday. So, and now we are actually officially halfway through the campaign.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I feel insane.
Yep.
Okay. That's great.
Yep. So as of yesterday, we are officially halfway through the campaign now. Yesterday was rough.
10
and 11 are bad. We're just heads up. 10 and 11
August
are
is going to be a rough month.
Bad. They're bad.
August is going to be a rough month. But there was a moment in episode 11 where we had to note that we recorded it during Pride Month because gay rights. So
a very
ups and downs.
An NPC that's very dear to our heart rolled a nat 20. And
two NPCs.
Two NPCs that are very dear to our hearts rolled at nat 20.
2 married NPCs rolled nat 20s during Pride Month.
And Al,
on the same turn.
And Al just screamed gay rights into the microphone.
Yeah. It was gay rights.
Redacted and redacted, my beloveds.
Yeah. We were very happy about it. It was extremely gay rights of them. But yeah. But yes, we are halfway through the campaign now.
The fact that episode is the halfway point of the campaign is really cool to me, though.
Yeah,
because for both Leo and Fee, episode 11 of season 2 is their big fucking turning point. Like that is where the heel turn happens. Like for mechanical reasons and for plot reasons.
Yeah. Some stuff goes down.
A lot of shit happens.
It was a rough one to record. All is well for the first 20 minutes, probably.
That's another thing I'm noticing about season 2 is like the later we get into it, the more we keep doing episodes where like the front half of the episode is like all yucks and like all jokes, and then somebody fucking dies. Or like a big monster comes out of the water, and it's just like instant tonal shift.
Or the big bad of season 2 shows up.
Oh yeah, because 7's like that too, because we had that whole thing with Leo and Redacted, and that was funny, and it was like,
it was very funny, and then we got like halfway through the episode, and
then she arrived.
She derogatory.
Yeah. I just hate that we made her hot.
She is really hot.
She's really hot.
It's really unfortunate. Anyway, but yeah. The farther we get into season 2, we are noticing that of just like the front half of the episode is so fun. Everything's bad.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Death, violence. Political
Grr bite.
Oh,
Grr
political
bark bite.
intrigue. and that's the horrible thing is like I feel like that's gonna keep devolving. Like I feel like the periods of like, oh, this is funny, this is for the yucks are gonna keep getting shorter and shorter
Till we get to the end of the season. Well, no, the last few episodes of the season will have yucks.
They have yucks.
Throughout.
Yeah. We have some
They
yucks.
have yucks throughout.
Mostly thanks to Mia. You're gonna regret it so much the gays are gonna see her. Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Woolawoos, you die on what's the release date of episode 7?
July 24th.
Sapphics, you die on July 24th.
Unfortunately. We just ask that you're mindful when you talk about her. Anyway.
MLMs, you die on July 9th, however. If you like men, you die on July 9th.
Yeah. We're just accepting the fact that everybody's going to be into the big bad of season 2.
Because she is hot. I mean, yeah, like, but
for you guys.
Yeah, she's also a big old motherfucking duffel bag of shit.
She sucks. She sucks, but she's hot. Hot pirate lady. Hot pirate lady, go burr.
We've already met her, actually.
Yeah,
I can tell you guys that now. Yeah, actually, you guys have already. So I don't. I don't know how how y'all are gonna react, but we've already met her, actually.
Oh, she's introduced again July 24th on episode 7 of season 2.
Yeah, but we have already seen her in podcast. You figure it out.
I'm very fond of you, and you are such a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I'm a dick.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's happening in July. July is also going to be a rough one. Season two.
We said it was going to be more light, and then it just hasn't.
And then it's just been a lot's happened. A lot of things are happening all of the time. Yeah. Anyway,
the bright spots are the NPCs, I think,
and the sibling dynamic.
And the sibling dynamic, and like getting to watch Fee and Leo become siblings, like that has been the like spot of light in all of this like horrible, awful shit for me. Is just like we'll do an episode that is just full of awful shit, and then Fee and Leo will have this like tender moment, and I'll be like, yeah. We do a lot of yelling siblings at each other.
Yeah. But yeah, that like we said about season 2 before, it is lighter in a personal sense, and there's a lot of stuff happening in the background.
It's lighter in a personal sense, I guess, unless you end up getting attached to one particular NPC, in which case it's going to be pretty heavy.
Anyway.
Anyway. We didn't intend for him to have as bad of a time as he ends up having, but
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, it's a lot. Things are a lot. Things are happening. But yes, we are halfway through the season and halfway through the campaign now. Yeah, because we record on Sunday, so we're recording episode 12 right after episode 3 comes out this week.
Episode 12. Oh, it's the Robin Hood.
That's the Robin Hood. Yeah. Episode 12, we take a fucking break.
There's a dungeon crawl in episode 12.
You can't have feelings when you're crawling in a dungeon.
You know what? That's fair.
I'm right. You can't have feelings during a dungeon crawl. There's too much else going on. Anyway. Okay. If anybody has last minute questions, we're going to wrap up in a minute here.
Yeah, about like 5 minutes.
We just wanted to run late because the audio issues.
Yeah, Pidge, because of the audio issues.
She's not over there. What are you doing?
I don't know. I thought she was on the chair. Oh, okay.
No. So fond of you. But yeah. Oh man. But yeah, episode 3. Episode 3 is not actually bad.
No, it's not horrible. It's pretty wholesome, actually. Yeah.
It's pretty wholesome. There are moments. There are moments in episode 3. But most of Oskaya arc ended up being very light, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for
episode 2. Yeah. Episode 2 was rough, but
somebody asked, what's our favorite episode of season 2 that we've recorded?
7.
That's fair. Yeah. 7's up there for me. I liked recording 11. I didn't like recording 11, but it is.
I'm pleased with how 11 turned out.
Yes.
We both hate 10.
10. Oh, episode 10.
10 wasn't fun for either of us.
Well.
Yeah.
It's going to turn out well. It's going to be a good piece of storytelling.
It wasn't fun.
We hated doing it. We didn't like doing episode 10. But as far as how things have turned out, I was proud of my I like 5, I like 7. I was proud of my performance in 11.
Yeah, and it did turn out really good. And we do some cool sound design things in 11 that we're experimenting with that are going to be new.
And that are going to carry over into our next campaign, which is good that we're getting practice now.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun to kind of parse out. I haven't started like really going in and getting deep in the editing on 11 now, but but we have some sound design things that we're going to be doing that are going to be cool. It's going to be I think a little bit more interesting to listen to than some of the other episodes, but as far as like the ones that I've had the most fun recording, I think 5 and 7.
Yeah, as far as fun recording, I think 5 is up there. I think 7's up there. I think I had fun with 6.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You had a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun recording 6.
Again, people that like men, you die July 9th.
Well, that's fine. But
yeah. Well, the reason that they die on July 9th is a main factor in episode 6.
Oh man. But yeah. I've liked how every episode we've done in season 2 has turned out, is what I'll say.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, once we wrap everything up, I feel good about everything, which is not something that I think I can say about season 1.
Yeah, there were episodes in season 1 that we weren't super satisfied by.
That we could have done better,
and I'm sure looking back on this in a year, we'll have some episodes in the season where we're like, we
could have done something about this better. But,
but we like where it's at now.
Yeah, the level of satisfaction I'm feeling when like we do our final listen throughs though is getting higher than it was in season 1, where we were like, this is good enough, go ahead. Whereas now it's like, oh, like, yeah, I feel really good about this. Like, that was good.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Which, because again, like, this is a learning process for us. It's a number one, it's an unexplored format.
Yeah, as far as the coding, yeah.
And number 2, I'm learning how to edit. We're learning how to play this together. We're learning how it affects the story and how everything ends up playing out at the end, but we're starting to feel way more confident about it. And I think that's going to show through, and especially a lot of the
in like the middle of season 2.
The middle of season 2.
And hopefully the rest of it that we haven't recorded yet.
Yeah. But like, I'm almost done editing 10. I'm going to go finish editing 10 after we're done with this. And I'm so proud of it so far. It's a really good episode. As much as we hated recording it.
We hated it.
It was so bad.
It's so bad. But it's good. Good to listen to, we think. Probably, hopefully.
Many of you will manifest physically in our home with knives.
Yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for us this week.
Thankfully, next week is going to be easy.
Yeah.
Next week isn't bad. Next week isn't nearly as bad.
Next week's very wholesome. Nobody cried.
Yeah. Nobody cried. We get to meet this one's family.
Yeah.
Including their grandma, who's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, That's going to do it for us, guys. See you next time.
Sorry about the technical difficulties.
Sorry
Bye.
about the technical difficulties. We tried.